Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. So it's been a while since I had an update on 3J505, the Caterpillar D2 project here in a while. And I got good news. There is a big update and I've been super excited to talk about this, but there was a lot of work in getting this part of the process done and not a lot of content I can make from that work. So it's going to be a little bit shorter video, but we're going to talk about a lot of stuff that got done. I've been super excited to share this with you, and this is the part of the project I've probably been the most excited for. So as part of this project, if you go back to the teardown videos, you will recall that the cylinder liners and the crankshaft were incredibly pitted. Just ridiculously bad, especially considering this engine has been rebuilt before. Whoever did it last time obviously just looked at that crankshaft, determined they could not find a new crankshaft and put it back together because they put brand new bearings in it. Well, I sent the crankshaft out to the machine shop. They had it for about two and a half months, and they did a fantastic job getting all the pits out of it. It looks great. There's still a few tiny pit marks left on it, but given the limited number of hours this machine is going to see and the brand new bearings we have for it, it's not going to be an issue. They are literally very small. I'm not worried about it at all. And as I just said previously, the other part of this was because the crankshaft got ground, I had to scrounge up somehow some undersized bearings, both for the connecting rods and the main journals. Now, finding regular Caterpillar main and connecting rod bearings is a bit of a chore in and of itself. I don't think finding undersized ones was going to happen. I could have called Florin and checked, but I went another route and I made them myself. Alright, so to start off, I used a 2-inch indexable cutter and faced off the top, and then I just started roughing it in. Because the CNC department at work is kind enough to let me use the machines, I'm kind enough to slow the feeds and speeds and the rapids down just to try not to wreck anything. So there's the inside bore all roughed in, and I moved along to the outside. I could have roughed the whole thing in one shot, but I was kind of making this up as I went along. And I did change how I roughed things in for the main bearings so it'll go a little quicker. And there's the shell mostly roughed in. All that was left for this cutter at this point was to rough the surface where the two bearings meet, and then we can move on. The next thing I did was I brought this woodruff cutter in to cut the oil groove. I wanted to cut that groove before I finished it. And I brought in this 3-flute end mill to finish all the sides of the bearing. And it did a good job, got a nice surface finish. And once that was done, I could cut it off. And it looks something like that, sitting next to the original. And then I used a height gauge to check them real quick. Couple of new ones showing the oil groove. Whole bunch of them. Then I made this fixture block to do the backside. I started with facing it off,
and then I used a 45 cutter to do the chamfers on it. And I did do that on the other side too. I forgot to mention it. And then after that, all that was left was to put in the dowel hole, which was a separate setup. That looks like that.
Man, those just look pretty. I don't think they could have come out any better. So I did a quick check with the telescoping gauges for round, and we are right at the tighter side of new spec, which is fantastic. That was one of the things that excited me about these bearings so much, was in addition to being something in this tractor that I made from scratch, it also puts us right at that new spec, and everything's gonna be just so nice on that crankshaft. And I got the other three sitting here ready to go.
Guys, that'll about do it for this part of the project. Like I said, I've been looking forward to sharing this for a while, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I did making those bearings. Stay tuned for the next part. We're going to talk about the main bearings, which get even a little bit more interesting yet. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.